Welcome into Cronkite Sports Live. I'm Elaine Wilson alongside Zach Pockleb. And Zach, this very well may be the last time that we are behind the anchor desk this semester. Are you feeling nostalgic?
I refuse to get nostalgic. Lacrosse teams in playoffs. The Diamond Sports are in full swing. We have no time, and no pun intended, by the way.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Well, let's get into the swing of things then with ASU softball. The ASU softball team has some serious history. Coming into this season, the Devils had a .788 win percentage over the last 10 years. That includes 167 consecutive weeks ranked in the USA Today coaches poll. That's likely about to end. The Devils have hit a 6-game skid, and this clearly isn't the same Sun Devil team that we saw only a few years ago.
Arizona State wins the 2008 National Championship. Struck around, and the Sun Devils shine for a second time. She drills it center field back to the wall, and it's caught by Doyle, and Michigan wins to advance to the Super Regional. Back up the middle, ball being waved away. She'll come to the plate, and LSU walks off. And it ends the year for ASU and the remarkable careers of those seniors for the Sun Devils.
Obviously, highs and lows with the Sun Devil team, and they've had a lot this year. So to break it all down, we bring in our softball insider, Jacob Franklin. Now, Jacob, the offense has been up and down, like we've said before. What do they have to do to pick it back up again against number 5 Oregon?
I think one of the main problems to their struggles recently has been the lack of power in the offense. Earlier in the season, when they were playing non-conference tournaments against those teams, the ball seemed to be flying out of Tempe, and it was just power was dominant throughout the lineup. But now that we've gone a lot further, it seems as if they've regressed a little bit, and that's kind of hurt them as, I mean, half of their losses, which is 16 losses on the season, have come when they haven't hit a home run in a game. And that's something that you can't really do. And we've been told that they're a small ball team, but sometimes you just have to rely on some power. Yeah, definitely. Now, coming into this season, there was a lot of hype around this pitching staff because Brianna Maha and Dale Rindak had done so well their year previously, and they were bringing in Kelsey Kessler, a transfer. But now there seems to be a decline in some of those numbers. If you look at the numbers, Kessler has pitched more than double of what the other two pitchers have pitched combined, the others being Rindak and Maha respectively, and she's just destroyed their numbers as well, like combined, and that's something that you don't really want to see out of your staff. She's trying to make up for 3 pitchers, and that's not what you want to do. You want to have 3 solid pitchers instead of one good one trying to make up for the numbers of all 3. And her complete game, she's got 11 on the season, and the other 2 have 7 combined, and that's just kind of put some tax on her arm, and she's regressed a little bit as the season's gone on too. Well, if they have any chance of winning against Oregon this weekend, it's going to be behind Kessler tonight. Thank you so much for your insight as always, Jacob. You can catch all of this weekend's coverage versus number 5 Oregon on CronkiteSports.com, and stick with us tonight on the Pac-12 Digital Network. Cronkite Sports will bring the first game of the series against the Oregon Ducks live tonight at 7 on Pac-12.com. In a less than stellar season for ASU lacrosse, remember they lost 4 back in March, the Devils have been able to get back on track with wins over UNLV, University of Colorado, and of course, that team down south. The Devils have been led by seniors Adam Beauchamp and Henry Archie. What does leadership sound like though? Lacrosse reporter Catherine Fitzgerald decided to find out. Thanks so much, Catherine. Now, when it comes to new media, we like to periscope before the games.
Of course, and they show up on Twitter now, too.
It's like our own version of mic'd up. So to talk more about social media, we head over to Gavin Shaw.
Well, guys, if I've learned anything in my 2 years on social media, it's that you're not you when you're hungry. And that's a point that Tracy Smith has confirmed time and time again. With the help of Andrew Snow, you see him compared to the gorilla. Guys, an important question for you. This Arizona State baseball team at points this season lacking power. Wouldn't you rather have the gorilla?
I think he's going for the the Cam Newton Superman celebration.
To pull out the ass?
Yeah, exactly, and he has super strength, so I think that's just as good as a gorilla.
Yeah, I do understand what you're saying about the arms and the power and such, but Andrew Snow, he's been doing okay, so I'd like to keep him.
So guys, Andrew Snow, the cousin of Dustin Pedroia, but doing his best Barry Bonds impersonation there. Now we move on to Austin Withrill, who has very specific qualifications for a girlfriend. She has to have exactly 48 Instagram followers. Elaine, I know you're in a relationship, so I'm going to spare you this question. Zach, you're not. How many Instagram followers do you look for in a potential girlfriend?
Seeing as Elaine is the only female on set right now, I'm going to defer back to her.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
All right, what's the ideal? What's the number?
This.
Okay, good.
Don't limit my followers. I want as many followers as I can get.
There you go.
I mean,
Austin, come on.
All right, well, Zach, if you're going to compete with Austin, you can go after girls with less than 48 or more than 48, but 48, that girl's his.
Touch.
All right, third and final tweet. We're sticking with Austin Withrow and Arizona State basketball. The Running Man Challenge has been running its way through the ranks of college basketball, started in Maryland. Guys, it's your turn. Give me your best shot.
Oh, we got this. You just gotta get
gosh, you gotta
it's a little
get-
bit of a jerky motion. You gotta go back and forth a little bit.
You gotta get your legs
hands
a
up
little
and
switch.
down.
Little switch.
I know.
That's why we're journalists. That's
Speak for yourself.
Yeah,
I
me
was
and
a-
Elaine.
speaking
Me
for
and
both.
Elaine can dance.
speaking
I
for
was a
both of you.
dancer
That was
back
horrible.
I was a dancer back in my day.
I wasn't.
I'm vouching for myself
Yeah,
on this one.
I've dabbled in dance before. And guys, first Arizona State basketball proved it. Now the three of us have proved it. You don't have to go dancing to dance.
Thanks so much, Gavin. We joke that we can't go more than 2 weeks on this show without talking about football, but for good reason. There's concern over how the Sun Devils performed last season, and with a graduating quarterback, there's a lot more questions than answers after the end of spring ball.
But I'm excited about those three guys. I'm excited about we've done a great job of recruiting guys that are great leaders, winners. I like the fact that they're very diverse in their talents.
Battle is the quintessential storyline in spring ball, and it's expected to continue through the summer. The Devils open the season in Tempe against NAU September 3rd.
Because I don't want him to catch too much heat.
Yeah, we love making predictions here. Really, it's probably something that we're best at.
I'm fantastic at predictions. Now it's time to get into the way it is. You know how it goes. Questions, answers, winner, monologues. Let's get right to it. Elaine, how does ASU softball do against Oregon?
Well, the optimist in me says that they're able to pull out the win today if they have Kessler in the circle, but the realist in me says they get swept by Oregon. Now, ASU lacrosse, they have the SLC playoffs this weekend. They have to face USC, and if they beat them, they'll have to face Chapman. Can they win both?
I'm going to trust Blaine, 9-6 over USC. And I think they do beat Chapman because Johnny Perletti's been on fire between the pipes. And though Chapman has scored a lot of goals, it was against a weaker North Division. Now, of course, we can't ignore ASU football because, well, it's football. So over the summer, what's Todd Graham's biggest concern?
It's that secondary. They didn't ever really solve it at the end of last year. Now they have Jordan Simone graduating. They got some young guys who maybe have a little more experience now and can help, but that's definitely the biggest concern going into the summer and the fall. Now, talking about fall, what is the fall sport that you are most optimistic for coming up in the season?
I have to say football. I think it's a hot take.
That is a hot
take. I think the expectations are so low for Todd Graham's team that I think they'll get 8, 9 wins is more than most people are thinking. I think, if Brady White wins that quarterback job, which I think he will, and they rely on Balaj and Demario Richard, they'll be just fine. Now, it is the end of the semester, which means it's the end of the sports calendar pretty much. So what was your favorite moment, ASU sports?
Well, I've got to say, being on the sideline for that ASU U of A football game, they had such a tough go about it up until that point. So then when they got to that and they got that win, it was just awesome to see the seniors celebrating. What about you, Zach?
I'm going to go Macy Gardner breaking the kills record. It was just awesome to see. Coming into that third and final set, she needed, I think it was 8 kills in that final set. And everybody's like, I don't know if she's going to do it. First 7 points, she gets 5 kills. Awesome moment for an awesome player.
Absolutely. So now the monitor changes in the back to one of us. We're tied at 2 apiece.
That's very true.
Right?
So this is the tiebreaker.
This is the tiebreaker for the semester. For the semester win.
Whatever. It's fine.
Whew.
It's fine.
I'm proud of that. All right, so this morning, if you were paying attention, the Players Tribune dropped an article by ASU hockey coach Greg Powers. Powers went through the struggles as a club hockey coach. He was a secretary, equipment manager, recruiting manager, and exterminator. Now currently ASU has 38 club sports teams. Often we scoff at the title club team, don't take them seriously, but here are the facts. The club women's hockey team was just added this past year. The club men's rugby team is playing the Mexican national team tomorrow, and no one's gonna hear about it. But we should take them more seriously, because you never know when money will appear on the doorstep and make them D1, and we should care before that happens, and that's the way that is. All right, time for our top plays. We're going to start with water polo, starting in the pool. Look at this firepower behind the arm, straight into the goal. They ended up losing this one at 16-6, but UCLA, a really tough opponent, one of their biggest games this season.
A little bit of a laser show. Well, not throwing. Speaking of laser show, onto the diamond, the ASU Sun Devils. Now, check out this catch from Tyler Williams. We're gonna stop it right. Look at that.
right above the
Snow
ground.
cone status. You know what that is? He got him. He got him.
It's like an ice cream scoop. I used to work at TCBY, the country's best
Yeah, yeah.
yogurt. That was the technique we used. That's the way to do it. Now for our top play, baseball got a shutout win. First of all, the bat breaks. It's an aluminum bat. And then it's a shutout over number 15 Cal when this team wasn't doing so well.
Hey,
So-
Zach Dixon, the freshman.
Yes.
Shout out to Las Vegas. Shout out to Centennial High School. He texted his dad saying that he got the start, and then his dad was like, why? You've only thrown 1 inning the entire season. Well, Dad, look at him now. Complete game
Look at him
shutout.
now.
Helping ASU beat Cal in a series. That was an upset, too.
Definitely worthy
That's good
of our
stuff.
top play, for sure.
Oh, definitely.
And you know, there's bound to be more top plays this weekend with everything that is going on. We've got softball at 7 p.m. tonight on the Pac-12 digital stream, and then this weekend on Sunday, ASU versus USC, 1 p.m. Full coverage of both, and baseball, all of that on CronkiteSports.com.
Well, for Elaine Wilson, I'm Zach Pocket. Thank you so much for joining us today and for the rest of the semester.
The rest of the semester.
Have a good one.